Hi, my name's Laura Rennie and I am the Managing Director of Arena HR. A little chat about HR and what it actually means. It's definitely not a thing I thought about doing when I was in your position. It's something that I thought about much later on, and I kind of wish I had thought about it earlier, but I didn't even know what it was then. So HR stands for Human Resources, or HRM, Human Resource Management. And basically, it's looking after everything employee related in an organisation. So that could be recruitment, looking to recruit someone, putting an advert out, interviewing, shortlisting, and then starting the person. Or it could be compliance, so that's making sure that you are giving them a contract of employment, knowing all the employment law rights and entitlements for your staff, and making sure that they get everything they're entitled to. Dealing with disciplines or grievance, so that's potentially if someone's not happy, then they would probably come to HR and we would work with our managers to get it addressed. Or if maybe somebody's been a bit naughty, then potentially naughty, then we would help process that and go through the procedures in a fair and equitable way. The other thing we also do is training and development. So we might work with training providers, or we might be a training provider ourselves internally in the organisation and set up some training workshops depending on what needs to be trained on. Or we might be doing some restructuring. So for bigger organisations that are maybe growing or having to reduce their numbers in terms of workforce, we might have to do things like redundancies, or we might have to redesign the jobs. So there's loads and loads and loads of things within HR. I always say it's whatever you think it is in an organisation, because we can pretty much do everything when it comes to an employee. I would say if you're interested in administration and processes and procedures, then HR might be something for you. Certainly if you think HR's good, it would be good because I like people, I would say potentially go and work in care or nursing if you like people, because it's more about processes and procedures and good practice and law than being an agony aunt. Days are gone. The personnel used to be sort of known as the kind of agony aunt and the person you would go to, whereas now HR is far more strategic and it's seen more as a sort of management function to help the organisation be the best possible way they can be. But we still listen to staff and HR, still listen to people in terms of employees coming to speak to them. In terms of qualifications, I was very, very lucky. I did the route where I did an HNC, an HND, and then I went into third year at university. Did my third year at uni, my fourth honours year, and then 10 years later I went back and did my masters for fun, 32 months part-time. So I'm sitting here qualified up to my master's level. I've started my PhD for fun, but really most people that are working HR will have some sort of qualification, or they might have years of experience where they've maybe fell into it because they know the organisation really well and they maybe did admin and then they went into the HR department. But if anybody's thinking about doing HR, I would try your very best if you can to get some experience whilst you're doing your qualification. That's the route that I did. I was very lucky. At the end of my first year of my HNC, I asked if anybody was looking for an HR student free of charge, I said at the time. We were talking over 20 years ago, so it was a wee while ago, and I was very fortunate that I got a job with Direct Line and they actually paid me, which was even better, from the May to the September. So it was good to get that experience, and then I got experience the following month every single week, one day a week for the next 3 years whilst I was at uni. So I actually graduated with 4 years experience, and that made me a better sort of candidate. I stood out completely compared to other people that were graduating with a degree. So if you can get any experience at all, try your very best to do it. And if anybody wants to ask me any questions, then my details are there. If you've got any questions to ask, I'd be more than happy to answer you. But yeah, we are a HR consultancy, so we go in and work with lots of different businesses and doing their HR for them. And we don't necessarily they might not necessarily have an HR department, but we do it for them because we're outsourced. But most places have an HR department within their organisation, and that's maybe where you would start. It's certainly where I started and then moved out to external consultancy. So as I said, if you've got any questions, then more than happy to answer them, and good luck with the future. And hopefully you'll get to do something you really, really enjoy, because you should, because you're a long time at your work. Good luck.